Warner Cable Sports presents the high school football game of the week. Tonight from Memorial Stadium in Kannapolis, it's the A.L. Brown Wonders taking on the Spiders from Concord. It's the 75th annual renewal of the Battle of the Bell. Hi everyone, along with Woody King, I'm Randy Whitley, and need we say more about the longest continuous state rivalry in North Carolina in high school football?
Well, one thing we do need to say, Randy, is these teams are finally back in the same conference where they belong. Realignment has put them back together. It's not at the end of the season anymore, but it does have implications for the conference title. Anson County is undefeated right now in conference play. Concord is undefeated as well. Kannapolis has one loss, so this game will go a long way toward determining who's going to race down the stretch for a conference crown.
Of course, Concord on their way to a state championship last year won the game here 20-9. However, both teams are the same, but they are different, right?
Oh, they really are. Both of them will want to try and establish the run. Last week against Porter Ridge, they loaded up the box with 8 people against Kannapolis, tried to stop the run, didn't matter. Kannapolis ran anyway. Concord's going to establish the run as well, but they do have the ability to put the ball in the air. A couple of weeks ago, Concord sophomore quarterback Jimmy Dry threw for over 400 yards. So these teams can score in a variety of ways.
And one more thing, little pride's on the line as far as the communities are concerned. They're playing for something that makes a lot of racket.
Called the bell, and whoever gets it will bring it out to the middle of the field after the game and take it home. Always a highlight at the end of the game.
We're excited. A playoff atmosphere, literally. Electricity in the air. The Battle of the Bell, 75th edition, coming up. At Memorial Stadium, a few minutes away from tonight's Battle for the Bell. The place is jammed. Parking is a premium, and seating is long since been gone. Earlier, Woody Kane had a chance to talk to one of the assistants at A.L. Brown High School. This is what Jeremy Ryan had to say.
Okay, thanks, Randy. Well, Coach Ryan, you guys are back in the same conference this year with Concord. Game still in the middle of the season, but a little extra added incentive this year.
Well, I think they got most of it, right? If they had this game at the end of the year, it'd probably be perfect. But the extra incentives, you're playing for conference seedings in the playoffs, and that's definitely something we look forward to.
Both teams coming in off a short week after playing Monday. How did that impact your practices this week?
It made it short. And basically, master the obvious there. But I tell you what, we're both in the same boat. We both had to play Monday night. You get Tuesday and Wednesday, and Thursday's your pregame, and Friday's the bell game. So, you just do the best you can, and the kids really handled it well. I'm sure Concord kids did too. You don't have to challenge kids in a week like this. Our seniors will lead us, and hopefully we'll play well.
As you prepared this week, what kinds of specific things concern you about Concord?
Well, they run well, and they're pretty big up front, defensively anyways, and they can play some man coverage, and they mix up their coverage as well, and as always, they're well coached. If you watch their linebackers run, you'll definitely know that they're well coached, and it presents a challenge to us, but by the same token, it's always a challenge when you play Concord, and that's what makes it great.
One of the things that Coach Massey has been saying over and over again, and I'm sure the rest of the coaches have too, talking about consistency. What does that mean in terms of your start tonight?
Well, it's your entire approach to playing the game itself. It's not one play. It's every play, and you don't know which play is going to be the most important in the game. Usually in football, it's 4 or 5 plays to determine the game, but it's the other 35 or 40 that lead up to that play that sometimes give you that advantage. And that's what we preach every day, and we hope the kids listen, and most of the time they do.
Okay, Coach, thanks for your time and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, Randy, that's what they think at Kannapolis. Back to you.
Pulse here at the Wonder Camp, and speaking of pulsing, there's one of the more famous attractions in Kannapolis. That's Plumber's Perch, and these kids on both sides worked, I guess, I don't know if it took more than a week or whatever, but look at all the banners that are ringing the field. The Spiders incidentally lead this series, 37 wins, 33 for Kannapolis. There have been 4 ties in the affair. Back with more pregame in just a moment. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Electric moment. That when the teams come onto the field. These teams have waited, what do they say, 365 days as the Concord Spiders make their entrance. Soon to be followed by the homestanding A.L. Brown Wonders. And the fireworks going off, man, I tell you what, nothing short of excitement here tonight.
It's going to take more than a paper banner to stop either one of these teams.
Concord has won the toss. They are in their away white jerseys trimmed in gold with the black helmets. Kannapolis, their familiar home green with the white breeches trimmed in white. And we're about ready to get this one underway for the 75th time. That dates all the way back to 1931.
Oldest continuous rivalry in North Carolina.
Ben Alford comes forward and kicks it deep into the end zone. It'll be a touchback at the 20-yard line, and that's where the Concord Spiders will set their offense in gear for the first time here tonight.
And Alford's been doing that all year long, Randy. What a weapon in high school to have a kicker who can consistently put the ball in the end zone. As you check out Jimmy Dry coming out, Randy, 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns through the air. He does have 9 interceptions. He's had 430 yards in one game against Porter Ridge, however, also a fine runner in his own right.
Let's see if the Spiders try to establish that run game first, as we'll meet that lineup here momentarily. They'll start out with one setback out of the shotgun, and they'll go to that setback, and Kannapolis waiting and nowhere to go for Sergio Cummings. Here is Justin Miller makes the tackle. Here's the way the Concord offensive line looks.
Scarborough, St. John, and Cox are sophomores. Johnson, the biggest, 6'3", 270 pounds. Cummings, a captain. He's rushed for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns so far this season. And the receivers, Lewis, the do-it-all guy, 650 yards and 6 touchdowns through the air. He's also a fine kick returner.
A loss of 2 on the play from the 18. 2nd and 12 now. And Dry will go to the air for the first time tonight. Pops it over the middle and completes it. And making the reception is Burris, and he will have the first down up to the 38-yard line. Good decision there. Trey Griffin on the tackle for the Brown defense, and now the rest of the Wonders.
Well, Kano on that defensive line, Randy, had a 67-yard fumble return for a touchdown a week ago. He's 6'2", 240 pounds. Grant, the guy to watch in the linebacking core, 6 foot 220, very strong, very fast. And then in the secondary, Eddie Sillavong has 4 picks already this year. Reed and Cunningham are seniors.
Concord will send trips out to the big side of the field, bottom of your screen here on first down. And on the bootleg, it's Dry around the right side and forced out of bounds after a couple.
And that's what Concord will want to do. Concord is always a better, well-rounded offensive unit when they have a quarterback who runs and throws. Last year, Tommy Beecher, primarily a throwing quarterback, but they had enough talent around him to go all the way to the state title game. But Easy Smith likes to have a quarterback who can run and throw, and that's what they're working for with Jimmy Dry. He has talent in both departments.
He has had some great ones in his tenure as the head coach. Remember the Jimmy Hitchcocks and the Robinsons and sort. Another one in the making here, only a sophomore. They'll go this time to the run. Bumped down after maybe 2 yards that time. Kannapolis' left side of the defensive front, led by Josh Vega again, there to make the hit. Now it sets up 3rd down and 4. Our first 3rd down situation tonight.
I really think this is going to be a key all night, Randy. The team that wins the battle of first downs, as you look at Coach Massey looking on there, if a team is facing 2nd and long all night, that's going to make it really tough. If they can generate some good yardage on first down and have 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4s all night, that's going to be critical.
Lewis is split out of your picture way to the bottom of your screen. Let's keep an eye on him. They're looking that way on 3rd down. Is that a pass or a fumble? The official back judge immediately. Actually, the referee there says his arm was going forward. It is an incompleted pass, and let's hope Dry is okay. Says somebody took his head off.
He's up. He's all right. But watch this hit, Randy. I mean, he never sees it coming. Pow! Just as he was winding up to throw.
Alex Edwards, along with Williams, are deep in punt receiving formation, and Burris stays in to do the kicking chores. Our first monster hit of the night results in Concord having to give up the football, and boy, does Burris get some air under this one. Edwards Bobbles, and Concord may have recovered. They do. Our first big break of the game down at the 21-yard line. D. Boss covered the fumble for Concord.
And he's very quick down there, Randy. Just that little bobble is all it took. Watch him. He breaks free on the side. You can just see him at the top of your picture there, and nobody really touched him. Now, D. Boss is also a basketball player, Randy, so he knows about getting on the floor and picking up a loose ball.
There's a difference, though, with the oblong versus a round cylinder.
That's right.
So Concord with new life, their offense back onto the field, and they are in the red zone here after the Wonder turnover at the 21-yard line. Single set, this time Dry under center. Cummings trying the middle and nothing there. And there's the whistle blowing. Looked like number 90 for Kannapolis got him down low initially, and that is Kevin Kano, along with Josh Vega. They've been running on Josh's side a lot, and he's made 3 tackles.
Maybe they're hoping to wear him down a little bit or something by the end of the game, but there's so much energy and so much adrenaline from both squads, Randy. You just wonder how they can not get worn out by the end of this thing.
I think pretty much the adrenaline was the factor. The first maybe 10 minutes of the game, and then you get down to X's and O's. We played 3 minutes in this one. Spiders with second down and 10 at the 21. Dry, a little quick, and is it a completion? They're going to give it to him, I believe, at the 10-yard line. Nice catch that time by Tim Streeter. Falling to the ground, fully extended, and for Streeter, that's only his 8th catch on the year, but a big one.
Yeah, just down the hash mark, Randy found some room, and he didn't get much of a kind spot. He's going to be outside the 10-yard line here as he goes down. They're putting it outside the 10-yard line. You can see he fell down inside it. Now they're going to measure for a first down.
His receiver, it looked like he overthrew the short receiver, and one of the Wonders almost had a chance at getting it, and then Streeter on the slant that time, able to make the catch.
Looks like he's a little short, or is he? Yep, that much.
See the little ball boy down there? Now he is down there. Frio Webster, our referee tonight, showing you just how close. Yeah, he's wearing 23 there. That jersey's bigger than that young man. And Concord with third. You might say this is to be a freebie.
So far, Kannapolis has not been shy on bringing linebackers and even defensive backs on blitzes. But right now, you got to protect that middle because you know Concord's probably just going to slam it up in there, maybe even just have Dry keep it.
Dry on the roll, going to keep it, is what he said, and gets the first down, but gets popped pretty good. Cordera Simmons looked like he wears number 6 there to make the pop, but he gained enough for the first down. It'll be first and goal as we watch the play again.
And they pull like they did earlier and send Dry around the end and just let him use his legs. All he had to do was get about an inch, and it's going to be first and goal for the Spiders just inside the 10.
So they cannot get another first down. So this is the longest distance you have to go. Nearly 10 yards, but no opportunity. Got to stick it in here. Full house backfield. I think one of the linemen actually knocked the running back off his pins. Lance Lewis carried the ball, but couldn't get underway because he ran into his own guy.
And normally Lance lines up at the receiver spot. That time they put him in that full house backfield and send him up the middle. Coach Smith looks on, and his team's going to be facing about second and goal from what, the 7 or the 8?
It's like about the 7 this time. Big boys in the backfield. Quick toss. Lewis right side. Speed on the corners, but they track him down. A little collar job right at the line of scrimmage. Trey Griffin over there making the stop.
He busted it up and then help arrived. Watch him penetrate number 8 as they try to go around the end here to Lance Lewis again.
Yeah, just strung it out very nicely. That's a characteristic, I guess, of the Wonders' defensive teams over the years. Hard to run on them laterally, as Concord has been in their defensive scheme.
So third and goal, and he lost a yard that time.
Yeah, move it back to about the 8-yard line. Trips to the left. 4 potential wideouts here. Dry with time. Shoots it. Complete. 1 touchdown, Lance Lewis and the Concord Spiders.
And what a nice move at the end, Randy. Cord Probst was in pretty good position there to stop him short of the goal line, but Lance put a little move on him and danced right into the end zone.
Did you see the zip on that pass from Dron?
Had some mustard.
Concord jumps out on top, taking advantage, as all good teams do, of the opponent's turnover, especially deep in their own territory.
Spiders are asking for one more player, now they get it.
Chad Myers, the 6-foot junior kicker, trying to add an important extra point. And this one is perfect. We have a timeout on the field. 6:44 remaining opening period. Concord takes a early 7-0 advantage. Concord 6 plays to go 21 yards after recovering the fumbled punt return. And they jumped out on top here in this battle for the bell, among other things.
Breaks are always crucial in this game, but you know, Ron Massey has been saying for weeks it's going to be important for his team to establish themselves early and quit playing from behind.
The senior Colbreth, who's kicked a few of the kickoffs in this series, does the honors, and they kind of pooch it. Fair catch called for by Hosack, normally a tight end, and Kannapolis will start at the 28. Here's the touchdown again.
Now watch this move right here. That's pretty nasty.
Remember the state championship game a couple last year against Wilson. He made a kid just fall out of his socks at the goal line, and
as you look at Sean Fortson leading the Wonders out there, Randy, 350 yards and 1 touchdown through the air, 329 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground, and he's also caught 7 passes. They'll put him out at a wide receiver slot occasionally and bring Jonathan Eford in under center.
Single set, and they'll try the run right off the bat. No gain there. Buried is Ratliff, the whole center of the defensive line, and here's the way the Kannapolis offensive line looks.
Well, they're big. Williamson is the smallest at 235. Watson 290. Johnson 270 pounds. In the backfield, Bobby Ratliff 770 yards and 11 touchdowns so far. He's a captain. Fowler 6 touchdowns already on the season. The receivers, Gray is the leading receiver with 14 catches. Hosack, the tight end, has 11 catches and a couple of touchdowns of his own so far.
Gray and Little are your wideouts. On 2nd and 10, Fortson looking that way and overshoots the intended receiver, Marquise Little, way over his head. And here's the way the Concord defense sets down.
5-man front. Young is a sophomore, 6'3", 295 pounds. Klein, a senior captain. The linebackers, Snettergren is a sophomore. Hilly, a big game performer. We've seen that over and over again from him. In the secondary, Bost, as we mentioned, a basketball standout. Wise and Newton are sophomores for the Spiders.
We're almost exactly halfway through the opening period. Kannapolis facing 3rd down and 10, just shy of their 29-yard line. Fortson on the draw play. This time Ratliff busted first down and nearly broke the thing all the way out to the 49-yard line, a 20-yard run from scrimmage. C.J. Wise on the tackle. Boy, that was an execution at its finest that time.
Yeah, everybody on the Concord defense has got to be thinking pass on 3rd and 10 there, but Bobby Ratliff has been getting the ball done, getting it done on the ground though, Randy, and he's busted several 60-plus yard runs on the season and has been in the end zone more than any Wonder.
That's the way you draw the draw play up on the chalkboard and the way it's supposed to execute there.
But it's always important as well for the quarterback, Randy, to keep the head up like you're looking downfield for a pass on that draw play to sell it.
So he lines up with a gun, fakes the run, and now here he goes. Fortson to the corner. He's got 10, and he's got about 18 yards down to the Concord 32. There's the added dimension of the running quarterback. We saw it on the Concord side, now evidence on the Wonder Camp.
As we mentioned, Randy, he's got over 300 yards on the ground of his own and 4 touchdowns. And when we were here against Robinson, we saw him take a 60-yarder to the house himself.
So Kannapolis coming back. As things moving in the right direction, going downhill now. 1st down and 10 at the Spider 32-yard line. Ratliff in the backfield with Fortson. plenty of time for Fortson. He dumps it out, spinning. Boy, taking some good pops there. They gained 2, but that was a well-earned 2 yards. Hanging on for help. Looked like Settergren.
Yeah, and Ratliff clearly there was Fortson's outlet man. He was looking downfield, couldn't find anything, had to check off, come back to his right side with Fortson as Coach Smith and his staff look on.
I like those defensive instructions those guys as assistants are giving. Are they animated or what? I believe they're into the game too. Just a little bit.
Yeah, you. I'm talking to you.
If you can't get somebody's attention that way, they shouldn't have the pads on. On 2nd and 8, Fowler. No, the fake executed perfectly, and keeping it is Fortson down to the 24-yard line. Ryan Chance, one of the linebackers, making the tackle.
And good execution again by Fortson, Randy. He really sells his fakes well. Keeps his head up, uses his body language to sell that fake, and when you do that, you can get him out in one-on-one situations to where he can use his athletic ability to try and beat one man instead of trying to beat 5.
Situation here, run or pass. 3rd and 3 facing the Wonders. As we near 4 minutes to go in the first period.
And you got to watch Fowler as well, Randy. He's a fine one in his own right. You don't see many fullbacks that have the speed to take it 60 yards and score, but he does.
They go to Ratliff, and it'll be, depending on the spot, he had to get 21 and a half.
I think he's going to be a little short.
That last little skip gets it a little. Let's watch it again.
But now remember, in high school, once the knee's down, that's it. You don't get to keep going until somebody touches you.
That's 4th down and less than a yard.
And
No sign of a punter.
Yeah, Wonders are going.
You figure with Ratliff and Fowler and Fortson, you ought to be able to pick that up with that big offensive line. That's what Coach Massey's at least thinking. They go with a quick snap. That helps, and it probably might have been the difference in the play as they do get the 1st down.
But what a nice play there by Ratliff, Randy. He realizes, being a senior, you don't have to slam into somebody and run over him. He knows he only needs a few inches. He just kind of ducks under and gets to the line he needs.
And just outside the 20-yard line, they'll get a new set of downs to work with. Fortson conveniently over there with Coach Massey near the sidelines, and he's ready to go. We better hurry. 4 seconds left on the play clock as it's ticking down. Ratliff again for about 3 that time.
And what a great surge by the offensive line, Randy. You had big old Tremaine Watson at 290 pounds there, pushing things down the field. And Ratliff just got up in there behind him and followed his blockers down the field.
Tremaine, a senior.
He's number 77 right there in the middle, or rather 70.
Number 70.
Just 70 right in the middle of your picture. Also, Greg Johnson, 79, 270 pounds. So they've got some hosses up front.
On 2nd down, Ratliff again trying to cut outside, tracked down from behind. Nice defensive play over there for the Spiders. And I believe that was Curtis Klein. Outstanding senior defensive tackle. Curtis has been to so many wars, and he's always improving.
Yeah, and he's not a tremendous size. He's added some weight this year. He's 5'8", 250 pounds, but had some missed time earlier this season, I believe, for an injury, but back now and a stalwart on that offensive line. Randy does the job, knows how to keep his lane and execute.
Another 3rd down conversion attempt here for the Wonders. Play fake. Fortson has a receiver, and he catches it.
I think he did get that on the 2nd effort. How about Hosack there, Randy?
Hosack, the tight end, almost forgot the bread. He was making the sandwich, but you got to have the bread. That's his 12th catch on the year.
Now watch this. He'll bobble it and still have the presence of mind to reel it back in just before it hits the ground.
And
very nice.
Gets him a 1st down.
That's some concentration there now.
I like to hear the crowd. Ooh, that was one of those.
Oh, they ride the emotions of the game, no question.
Just as the Spiders had it 1st and goal just inside the 10-yard line. Kannapolis now 1st and goal of 9, and they go once again. What's got them down there? Ratliff for a couple.
Klein again in on the stop that time, along with Calvin Hilly, one of the linebackers. A quick count that time. The Wonders, just as soon as Fortson got to the line of scrimmage, the ball was snapped.
You better be ready when you come out of the huddle, in other words.
No napping allowed in the Bell game.
45 seconds and the clock running here in the first quarter. What's been a quick one. Only one possession for Kannapolis, and they're trying to get some points out of it. Great bootleg. Fortson trying to get everybody, and boy, closing speed indeed. Concord comes up quick. D. Boss making the tackle.
And that's some speed, because you know Fortson can run, and D. Boss was on him in the blink of an eye. Watch this. He gets a good block on the corner. Right there did A.L. Brown from Scott Stallings, but look at Boss just charge up there, and Lance Lewis up there as well.
I don't know if there's anybody that can outrun Lance Lewis.
Not many.
Maybe some of those world-class sprinters in the Olympics.
There probably are some, but there are not many, that's for sure.
Third down and goal. 7-yard line. Play fake. Fortson flushed. Running for his life. Tucks it and will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Kannapolis. He held the defense and finally, hey, I'm in.
Well, it's a designed rollout, Randy. They got everything all clogged up in the middle with that full house backfield. Spring him out on the roll to the right, and he just kept his head up and kept that arm going, and the receiver or the defenders backed off of him, and he had all kinds of room.
That is his 5th rushing touchdown of the year. Sean Fortson gets the Wonders to within 1.
I mean, he got flushed out of there by one of the Concord players, but the rest he just did with his legs and his arm just by faking it.
Parker to hold, and Alford ties the game. 22 seconds left in the first period. It's still undecided. Kannapolis, 6:42 it took to go. 71 yards, 14 plays, and Fortson going the final 7 on the bootleg. That's got to make the offensive coaches happy.
A couple of key third down conversions and one fourth down conversion in that drive as well. And so far, no penalties in the game.
One turnover, which led to a Concord score, and the Wonders are about ready to kick it back to their arch rival. This one will not make the end zone. It'll be fielded at about the 7-yard line. They're going to throw it across the field to get it to Lance Lewis. He eludes one man. He eludes 2, and they catch him from behind. Not a trick play. I mean, that's probably part of their return arsenal.
Perfectly legal, but here's the touchdown again. Now look, he's flushed out, but he's got all kinds of room over here, and he makes people back off by keeping his head up and keeping his arm up like he's about to throw. The play was designed to be a pass, even though it's a full house backfield. You got to think he was looking for Hosack to tight end there, but Fortson showed you he can get it done on the ground. That's his 5th rushing touchdown of the year, and he's pushing 400 yards rushing as well. There's the part of, oh my gosh, it's Ted Lakaitis and Lanny Nunn. The brothers are reunited. How about that?
That could be a start of a series. You never know. Brothers reunited. Coming soon to a cable channel near you.
That's right.
The quarter has come to an end here at Memorial Stadium, and we have decided absolutely nothing. We're tied at 7-7 in the 75th annual. Memorial Stadium. Woody Kane, Randy Whitley, and the entire Time Warner Cable Sports Production crew. Glad to be bringing you the most colorful rivalry in the state of North Carolina, the annual battle for the bell. Concord operates first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Quick out. Nice move. Another nice move. How many moves does the man have?
How many guys can you make miss in one play?
D. Ball showed us some basketball moves there after the catch.
He wasn't making just one guy at a time miss. They were coming at him in waves, and he was just making them miss him.
Good lighting here. It's easy to see those green jerseys coming out, but getting out of the way is another one. Look at this.
9th catch of the year for Boston. Coach Smith has been saying for weeks now, Randy, that we've got to have somebody else step up and catch passes besides Lance Lewis. Coming into the game, Lewis had 28 catches. The next closest had 10.
Well, Boston will probably get a few more balls thrown his way. Right now, 4 wide receivers. Trips to the top here for Dry, and he caught his own number, and the scrum is on. I don't know if he got the first down or not. Had to get just over the 34-yard line.
Awfully close. Let's see. Looks like where they're going to spot it, he will have the first down. Yep.
As who was that old NFL referee that retired? First down.
Red Cashion.
Red Cashion, yeah. He was older than the NFL, though. He'd been calling games. He's seen a few. They mark it at the 35-yard line. Good game so far. Just underway in the second period. Over the middle, open, first down, 47-yard line of the Wonders. Deep off with the reception. Kannapolis fans are wanting fumble, but the official right there on the spot saying, nope, the ground calls it. Alex Edwards begged to differ with him, though.
Dry, the left-handed quarterback, fires it a little bit behind Boss, but he goes up in the air and grabs it anyway, and you see the ball popping out after he was on the ground.
Yeah, they were trying to rip it out there. 17 yards on the pass completion.
Now remember, Concord started off the season in all kinds of woes offensively, Randy. A lot of young players on this team. They really had a lot of struggles in the beginning of the year trying to get an offensive line solidified. They've started to come into their own of late and getting more comfortable as they miscue here, but getting more and more comfortable every week as the sophomore Jimmy Dry. You can just feel the confidence level is different this week than a few weeks ago when we saw him against Robinson back there in the pocket.
No, but it's like a whole different years elapsed. Concord, a dangerous team. Those teams that are on the rise. Kannapolis, meanwhile, put their most points of the season on the board earlier the week against Porter Ridge, and they are hoping their offense finally gets going. They have been slow starting as well, especially in the games only to come on and win a few at the end. Of course, you start out with Charlotte Vance with a revamped team, and then you hit Northwest Cabarrus. Those two.
Well, Northwest, as we go into this weekend, is still undefeated.
So Concord took some lumps early, but it's what happens in November that counts most. And Dry trying to skip down the line, and Kannapolis all kinds of messes in the backfield. They were disrupted, namely Josh Vega, who got Dry.
Vega's having a big night. We've called his name half a dozen times already.
The marquee players, you just never know who's going to come up and play big in a game like this. I was reading some quotes this week. Some of these guys who played this game said they would give money to have an opportunity to play in another one of these.
Wait, can you imagine if it were possible to assemble an all-time all-star game from the guys who participated in this one?
I guess it is possible. We get a computer guy do one of those games. A screen pass, trying to get outside, and Cummings is going to have too many green shirts to deal with at the 45-yard line, way short of the first down.
He was amazing to keep that from being more of a loss than it was, Randy. He evaded a couple of tacklers. Watch him here. Dry, sells the screen, but the Wonders pursue it well. Grant goes by, and he makes 2 people miss before they finally get him down. That could have easily been like an 8-yard loss.
3rd and 17. Speaking of ex-players, we had a chance to talk to Blair Harden, who had a few of these when Daddy coached here at Hale Brown a few years ago.
Yeah, I didn't realize it, but talking with him, he's over at Providence High School now as an assistant coach. Here's where you got to keep an eye on Lance Lewis, Randy.
3rd and 16. Jailbreak. They set up another screen, and Kannapolis has that one angled to the sidelines, and up-ended Marqualo Williams did the tackling job that time. 44. He's a little pumped.
He should be. That was a nice open field tackle. And he's only 5'9", 150 pounds, tackling a guy who's outweighing him by 40 pounds. Just knocked him off his pins. Fine play.
That'll force Concord into their second punt. The first time they punted, Kannapolis could not come up with a football, fumbled, and Concord took advantage and punched it in for a touchdown. Again, That's off a great kick. Flags are down. That could come back and haunt the Wonders. Might be roughing the kicker, the call.
Well, Burris had to turn to avoid a rush, Randy. They almost blocked the ball, but they did run into him.
And it looks like it's going to be the 5-yard variety penalty.
And Coach Smith, I think, is telling him to decline it. He likes the distance on that punt where it went out of bounds, and he wants to just take that.
Yeah, it's out of bounds, near the 13-yard line. So
yeah, you're going to be hard-pressed to beat that. Now watch him turn to evade him here, angle it toward the sidelines, and then gets nicked there and goes down, which he should do. You know, if they get near you, you're supposed to yell and fall down and wave your arms and all that. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Try and get that call.
But he saw me. That looked pretty real there.
Yeah.
If he was acting, he'd get the Academy Award there.
We've seen guys in the past who get bumped and don't fall down or anything. They just stand there. But, you know, if you're going to help your team, you really need to make a big scene and wave your arms and try and draw the flag.
Well, you know, the kickers are a different breed anyway, and that's one of those necessary things you should have on your resume when you apply for the job. Up the middle, a huge hole, and almost busting it out with a mail as Ryan Fowler out to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, and Fowler, Randy, has almost 600 yards of his own on the ground and 6 touchdowns, and we saw him take one 60 yards against Robinson earlier this year, and he's a load as well, Randy. He is 200 pounds, 5'10", but he has some really good speed for a fullback. And he's not one of these guys who's going to dance around back there. When he gets ahead of steam, he's going straight ahead.
Like trying to tackle a bowling ball sometimes. Oops. Speaking of penalty-free, well, they're starting to pop up now on both sides.
See, you compliment a guy, and it happens every time. It never fails.
That'll be a procedure call. Some of that run back to the 16-yard line is where they'll spot it this time with 7:12 to go.
Look at big old 70 in the middle of your picture there. Trumaine Watson, 290 pounds.
You are right, Woody. That is a big 70.
He's a screen filler. There is a whole lot of him.
Imagine what he would look like on one of those big 65-inch jobs.
Yeah, with the plasma screen.
Oh, man. Schwartzen, how did he get through that hole? Cuts it to the outside. Now he's got one man to beat. Gets a block at the 40. And will be ridden out of bounds at midfield.
DeVos wrestles him down, Randy, but Fortson is making him pay, and I'm with you. How did he get through the line of scrimmage?
He was executed the fake very well. You think Radcliffe's got it. Boom.
Well, they did a good job of sealing off Norman Young. They double-teamed him there and just opened up the hole. Fortson shows you at quarterback, you don't have to only do it through the air. He has executed very well running the ball. Over 400 yards on the ground now and 5 touchdowns on the season.
Got to be winded just a little bit. He had 34 yards on that carry.
He probably ran 50 or more, though.
Kannapolis 1st and 10 at midfield. And now banged down hard. Vicious tackle that time. 3-yard gain for the Wonders. Ryan Chance on the hit, making a statement for the Concord D.
But he picks up about 3 or 4 yards there before they get Ryan Fowler on the ground. And again, first down is critical.
About halfway through the second quarter here, 6:20, 6:19, clock running, and a tie ball game. Little, along with Josh Gray, the wideouts this time. It'll be Ratliff, and he'll go for another 2 or 3. A lot of people say, man, this is just 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Well, this is football, folks.
But if you talk to a coach, they'll say, we got the ball, they can't score. If we keep churning it up and getting first downs, there's nothing they can do.
If we go 6.5 minutes at 70, 80 yards, take a lot of time off the clock, run 14, 16, 18 plays, you can't have your cake and eat it too, but
you ask any coach around, would you take 3.5 yards per carry every time and just churn it up all night? Yes.
Sure, because you get 4 down, so 3.5 yards would automatically give you the first down. Timeout on the field, 5:31 to go in the first half. The Battle of the Bell tied right now, the 2005 edition. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. If you think the first half of football has been good, wait till halftime. We've got two wonderful bands, always a spectacle. So you're going to have to pick and choose the time when you're going to go to the fridge and refill the tea glass.
That's right.
3rd down and 4 here at the 45-yard line. Out of the gun, Fortson drawing them in. And, oh my goodness, gets a block, and he's holding that ball precariously, and Concord will get him. He ran about 30 yards and picked up 2.
Now there's some pushing and shoving going on over there after the play, but what a job by Sean Fortson, Randy. Was he not completely surrounded? I mean, it looked like they had him bottled up about as well as you
You
can.
talk about the dogs cornering the cat. Now watch this. Oops.
Look at that. That is something there, and a pretty nice block there by Ratliff to buy him a little more time, and he knows he's trying to get the first down. That's why he didn't just go ahead and get out of bounds. He knows he needed a couple of more yards to get the first down.
Just like a few folks' heart pound a little bit faster there. He got a little close there. Eddie Sullivan, they will have to punt it. They made that decision. They want field position right now. So 4th down and a long 2 facing Kannapolis, and that might be a little bit too long, because if you don't make it, you give your opponent the ball at around the 40, 42-yard line. That's great field position, and still a lot of time to go here, just over 4 minutes. Sullivan tries to punch it away from the return man. It hits inside the 5 and will be down just like they do in practice about 300 times a week. Alex Edwards down there inside the 1-yard line.
Sullivan made that thing stop like he hit it with a pitching wedge, didn't he? I mean, it just dug in the ground and spun backwards.
Well, you know, they got computers. They put it in they probably got a football. Now you're talking about the race cars through the wind tunnel. They know what this thing's going to do. It's
Perfect angle.
all physics. It's a science.
Well, just over 4 minutes to go in the half, and it wasn't all that long ago that we saw a big defensive stand to close out the first half in the Bell game, and a 90-some yard run right before half. Remember Mr. Graham?
I remember that as if it was yesterday. Well, maybe last week. That was an electrifying play. Concord with trips out to the left here. Well, one thing about it, when you get hit with delay of game as the play clock runs out, I don't know if they can penalize them.
Yeah, half the distance is about nothing from here.
Yeah, they may not even have to move the ball.
Well, they have to do something just to go through the motions, but there's not much distance that they can move it for sure, as Coach Smith
They did
gives a signal. Look at that.
I mean, you did. Where can you move it?
That's as close as it can get.
You got your quarterback 7 yards in the end zone. Dry on the slant, and that one should have been 7 points. Quantrez Grant, the all-star linebacker, had 6 points.
Yeah, an all-conference performer, Randy. He's 220 pounds, but watch him move here. He really has some speed at that linebacking slot. In fact, we talked with Coach Massey earlier this season. He said he's so eager and he's so talented that sometimes he just gets himself all wound up and will run through plays. And he almost did there. And if he had gotten the ball, that would have been 6.
That was a dangerous play there. Dry throwing about 6-7 yards deep in your end zone. Of course, he's out of the gun again. Time will go deep. And incomplete. No flag.
Yeah, you had good coverage back there from Alex Edwards. He didn't have to give up his position. They were trying to hit Streeter down there. Edwards running toward the ball. It's not like he turned around and hit the receiver to impede his progress. He doesn't have to move out of his way. And Concord looks like they want timeout.
Well, Z's going to talk it over because you got 3rd down coming up. You got to at least get it out so you'll have some room for your punter, because you're dangerously close to getting in safety territory. 3:59 remaining first half. Concord with 3rd down and 10. The ball about 18 inches outside the goal line.
Great to see a packed stadium, isn't it?
That stadium's been packed. The horseshoe parts filling in nicely as well. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Little screen pass. Sidestepping one man is Burris, and he'll have the first down. Big play for Concord to get out of the hole, making the tackle Trey Griffin.
Nice move, Randy, to sidestep a couple of tacklers there. Watch him again, and Drive barely gets this one away under some heavy pressure. Nice move there, and then he just races to the sticks.
Gives Concord a little bit more breathing room out to the. If you ever thought the 12-yard line would be breathing room, well, depending on where they came from, it is.
Yeah, it feels like an ocean of room now compared to what they just had.
Got a little working margin behind the quarterback. He's not in the end zone. Drive, try to draw him in again. That little screen on the left has worked well last time. It works again. Same play, and pretty much the same result out to the 25-yard line. This time, Quantrez Grant, the linebacker, making the hit.
And Burris has added a few more catches to his total now, Randy. He's got a dozen on the season, and you're right. This little screen left is working well. Remember before when they were trying it with Cummings, it was a little bit of a different animal coming out of the backfield, but they were facing, what, 3rd and 15 or something like that then.
You got to respect the fact you got number 1 lurking out there as a wide receiver. That's, of course, Lance Lewis, but so they're going to the other guys. How about the run game? That might open it up a little bit. 3 or 4 that time for Cummings. Out to the 28.
With the exception of the touchdown after the Kannapolis fumbled punt, have they thrown at Lewis yet? They threw the 1 touchdown pass, but other than that, have they thrown toward him at all? I don't think so.
What a decoy to have.
Yeah.
He's going to get his. The good players always, as the game wears on, will make the catches. There's Lewis, number 1. He always breaks out as the widest wideout. And in his shadow, looks like Malcolm Reed covering him all night long. How about this? Out to the 36-yard line. Concord with another first down as we near the 2-minute mark. Carrying the football was Franklin. First carry tonight for him.
Franklin, 175-pound sophomore, showing you some pretty nice moves there. He's had about 40 carries coming in here and just over 100 yards, 1 score. And there's an official's timeout. One of the Spiders there, Franklin, has an equipment problem. And this is going to take...
this might have to go back to the shop.
Yeah, multiple technicians to work on that one. Now he's got all the pieces and parts back together.
That's chin straps, man. That's a nightmare. Just a little over 2 minutes ago, Concord had a 3rd down and 10 at their a foot outside their goal line, and they've been able to punch it out 35 yards. Just trying to get some room, ball loose, but I believe he was down. Kano on the tackle for the Wonders. It'll be 2nd down. The line to make will be the 47-yard line for a first down. Right about now, though, you've got some room to maybe take a chance with Lewis D.
But how big, Randy, is that screen pass to Burris now? Think about it. You're backed up on your 1-inch line, 3rd and long, and you've still got almost 4 minutes to go. At that point, it's looking like the Wonders are going to get the ball back in pretty good field position, and now Concord has pushed it out almost to the 40 here and run it down to about 1 minute 15 seconds.
Show 4 wide, and they'll go. Oh, ball is going to be incomplete. Back judge ruled it. Never had possession as Silvong put the hit on the receiver that time up and around midfield. And if he'd held on to that, it would have been a miracle after that hit.
Man, Randy, what a shot. Watch him here. Streeter, pow.
Did you see his neck?
Oh, that looked like a car wreck.
Boy, when that neck jerks back like that, it just...
And now Silvong is down.
Silvong was the hitter, not the hittee, and he got the worst end of it.
Man, Randy, that just makes my feelings hurt to watch that.
We have a timeout for the injury. 1:07 remaining first half. We will step away. Welcome back. Glad to say that Silvong able to walk off under his own power for the Wonders, although a bit woozy right now. On 3rd down and long, they go with a little pass over on the left side, and it will be enough for the first down. They do get the clock stopped. Tim Streeter with the reception. Court Probst on the tackle.
And well designed out there, Randy. They had a blocker set up for Streeter to loop that one around toward the outside. Watch this. Coming up there to make a block is Lance Lewis. Didn't spring him all the way, but gave him a few extra yards.
That could have been if something had opened up. Maybe the old hook and lateral play there, because the way he looked like he may have been looking at Lewis there. Low snap. Kannapolis coming. And Dry gets it off. Deep. Complete. At the 5-yard line. I said Lewis will beat you deep. Eventually, a flag is down, however, at the line of scrimmage, and it's blocking below the waist. It'll come back.
Well, they've been getting all kinds of pressure on Jimmy Dry coming from the right side of that Wonder defense. That time they blitzed. Trey Griffin, the linebacker, was right in his face. Watch number 8 here. But somehow Jimmy Dry escapes, and watch him fire that thing down the field. And Lewis, in double coverage, comes down with it somehow, even though it's coming back. Pretty to watch.
I think we saw the infraction, too, by the blocker. So, negate a fine play, a fine catch. Instead of being first and goal with 42 seconds to go at your opponent's 5-yard line, it'll be moved back now to your own 47. That's a difference of half the field, Woody.
Yeah, and how quickly fortunes change here, Randy, in this thing. Concord's backed up on the 1-yard line inside the 1. Now, instead of being down at the other end of the field, they're right back at midfield.
Clock running. They go with a draw. And across midfield, maybe to the Wonder 49-yard line. That's about it. Timeout is called.
And that's Franklin again. And
Concord calls the timeout, I believe. They got 25 seconds to go. They still got time. We saw what happened a couple of plays ago. I saw a little graphic. I bet we're going to see another one here. Amazing, isn't it?
Piedmont. And they have a scout here tonight, since they will see both of these teams.
Boy, they had a good one last year down at Bailey Stadium in the conference, Piedmont and Concord, and the old conference.
Well, that was actually at Piedmont.
That's right, it was at Piedmont, and Concord came back in that one to win.
Yeah, sure did. Got a lot of big picks in that game.
Big plays down toward the end, and Z will be at home next week, and have it for you. The Panthers from Piedmont, they look at the Carolina blue. And speaking of blue, all colors of the rainbow represented on the hill tonight.
Blankets and who knows what all back up in there. It's filling up now. And you mentioned earlier we were talking with Mr. Harden down there, and he says it's just a different atmosphere up here.
Oh, yeah. Out to Lewis, he's trying to get out of bounds, and he does at the 40-yard line. Third down coming up.
Well, now, keep in mind, Concord has some pretty good distance with Chad Myers, their kicker here.
They just want to get in. If something breaks, great.
They still probably need, I'd say, a good
probably
15 anyway, 20 to feel real safe, or, safer, as safe as you can feel in high school football, but if there is such a thing.
Lewis and Streeter are split to the top. We'll keep an eye up there for you on third down. Well, that won't get underway. Another flag comes in.
Yeah, somebody moved. There's still plenty of time on the play clock.
I know it's officially fall, and those yellow flecks kind of blend in with the foliage. It looks nice this time of year.
It's starting to feel a little bit like fall, too.
Our best football night of the year, I would think.
Weather-wise, yeah. Boy, we've had so much humidity this year. I was talking with somebody earlier. It's hard to believe that this is A.L. Brown and Concord's 8th and 9th games.
Normally this game, they tried to get it traditionally moved back, since they were in the same conference, to the last regular season game, but got outvoted on that one. 3rd and 12, and they got a man open, complete. It'll be a first down, and running hard is Burris, and I'm not sure where they're going to put progress. Down about the 28-yard line. He was kind of pushed back, I think.
They are trying to hold him up and see if they can strip the ball out of there, but nothing doing. Now, Concord is going to have to get up here and spike the ball. They'll reset the change, and then the clock will start. Now, they're just going to take a timeout instead. No, Kannapolis is.
Yeah, Wonder's going to help them out a little bit. They call a timeout with 10 seconds to go. Ball at the 28-yard line. If you kick it here, it's about a 45-yarder for a field goal. But they're going to take one shot at the end zone, I believe.
Or maybe they do a shorter pass and try and get him a little closer. You have time with 10 seconds.
We'll find out after the timeout. Back in just a minute. 10 seconds to go here in a tie ball game before halftime. And let's see what the Spiders have cooked up here during the break. Dry with time. Over the middle. Tipped in almost. Intercepted, almost complete. Justin Cunningham, the guy who got his hands on it.
Just playing safety back there, Randy, reading it all the way, and he comes charging up to knock it away.
Well, that play took 5 seconds off the clock. Nice touch there by Dry as it falls down incomplete.
Boy, they're gonna try it, Randy, from here. The field goal.
It'll be a 45-yarder from the left hash mark. We had some wind prior to the kickoff, but that's pretty much died down, so that will not be a factor here in this kind of horseshoe-type stadium. Concord got out of the timeout, might as well use it.
I don't think they wanted to use it, Randy. I don't think they had but 10 guys on the field, and they were trying to get the right personnel out there and had to use that timeout.
Of course, we have seen stranger things happen. You attempt a field goal, who knows, you might have Dry the holder. You just got to pay attention to the personnel back there.
We've seen some stranger things, no question, but I think this is going to be Concord's last time out of the half, Randy, which means if there's some kind of a snafu here, they won't get a chance to reset and go for it again. They'll have to take what they got here. Now it's Burris holding.
And keep in mind, he is a quarterback by trade. Chad Myers with a great leg. He's only a junior.
And he came up really big down the stretch last year, didn't he?
Oh, indeed he did. It's got to be those white socks. What do you think?
Looks too clean.
45-yard attempt. Good snap. The kick is on target, but about 2 yards short. Well, we know Chad's got about 43-yard distance as he comes up a tad short. And we are at halftime as both teams earn a well-deserved rest here. All tied up at 7 apiece. Back with our halftime in just a minute. Great halftime performances by both the Concord and the Kannapolis bands. We are 7-7 here, getting set for the second half kickoff, but we'll get you caught up on some numbers here from the first half between Kannapolis and Concord. There you see the total yards.
Look at that. Through the air for Concord, on the ground for Kannapolis. The total's not that far off. The one big turnover there for Kannapolis, of course, led to the Concord score. The time of possession you might expect to be more toward Kannapolis since they stayed on the ground a lot more, but fairly even as well. Penalties only 4 for 20 yards for Concord, 1 penalty, 5 yards for the Wonders, and only 2 scores in that first half. The first one came after the Kannapolis defense had stopped the Spiders. They punted, got the turnover, then it's 3rd and goal. Jimmy Dry goes back, finds Lance Lewis. He takes it to the end zone for his 7th touchdown of the season. Then Kannapolis at the end of a 6.5-minute drive. They're on 3rd down as well. Full house backfield. Fortson gets flushed, looking to pass. Then he says, I'll just keep it. He takes it into the house, and that tied the score. Concord missed a 45-yard field goal just before the end of the first half.
Yeah, it came up just a couple of yards short as the team's back onto the field. Well, you know, kind of next to best here in the first half, and look for maybe some fireworks in the second half. Couple of big plays got to decide this game, but we had a nice halftime experience. I got to go up top and sample some of their goodies there from the Boosters Club.
Got a nice little spread up there. Some chicken wings and some sandwiches.
Did you notice something about the Oreo cookies?
Yeah, they were green and white. They have a mint filling in them.
So, I mean, you know,
They even have Wonder Oreos.
you bring out the Wonder Oreos for the Bell game. Well, what can I say?
Pretty nice.
Well, you know, maybe next year the game's in Concord, they'll have the gold filling inside the Oreo cookies.
If they make them, I'm sure they probably will.
Well, you got a year to decide that. Kannapolis will get the kickoff to start the second half.
And good to see that Eddie Sillavong is coming back out. Remember, he went out toward the end of the first half there after a big hit, but he's coming out here on special teams, so good to see him back on the field.
There were a lot of hard hits, but 3 or 4.
That was the hardest.
I remember, yeah. They hurt all the way up here. About ready to get this one underway. Alex Edwards, along with Fortson, are the deep backs for the Wonders, standing back at about the 5-yard line. Fraser Culbreth, you remember he missed an extra point, I know, in this Bell game a few years ago, that would in overtime. And you know, he has come back strong, and this is senior season. A lot of memories for these kids, especially these seniors playing the last game in this series. Ironically, they've also had some bonus coverage over the years. They've been met 3 times in the 90s in state playoff competition, with Kannapolis winning 2 and Concord winning 1. So you get bonus coverage every few years. Kannapolis starts at their own 30-yard line, out of the I formation. Ratliff quick to the hole, and Concord quick to fill it after a couple.
Ratliff had a pretty nice first half. First quarter, I guess. In the second quarter, it was primarily Fortson and Fowler carrying the ball, but Ratliff did most of the work in the first quarter there.
He was your mutter, as they say. Wasn't it, Johnny Manning talking about the mutters? So they get you those 3.5 yards. The tough ones. Gain of 2 the last time from the 31-yard line. 2 receivers split to the big side. There's the old shovel pass trying to get Concord napping, but they would have none of it as Ryan Fowler tackled by number 31, Calvin Hilly, on the play. A late flag comes down. Somebody might have said the wrong thing.
Yeah, it's in the area where the Concord linebackers would be, and it came after the play.
Unsportsmanlike against Kannapolis, so perhaps they caught them first or they caught them last. At any rate, that's a major penalty. That'll push Kannapolis back, what, half the distance, I would think, or at least 15. Well, 15.
It'll be a 10-yarder, I believe.
Okay. How about 15?
No, it is. Yeah, you're right, 15.
At least 15.
Push them all the way back to what, the 17-yard
line.
Fortson in the first half, 2 out of 3 through the air for 11 yards. Didn't really try that much. Jimmy Dry, 11 for 16. Nice percentage there, 125 yards and a touchdown.
And would have had more had they not had a penalty when he threw that about a 45-yard completion down to the 5-yard line in the first half to
at some point in the second half, Randy, we will expect to see Fortson move over to the receiver slot, and they'll bring Jonathan Eford in. We've seen that every time we've seen Kannapolis so far.
Fortson flushed this time, running for his life. Stops, pops downfield, has a receiver behind the coverage, and it is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, it was batted away there at the end, and I believe getting a hand on it was C.J. Wise back there, the sophomore.
Just at the last minute.
But what a cannon Fortson shows you here.
Watch what happens after he throws it. We got a shot. Boy, he got pounded.
Had a man behind the defense, but couldn't quite get it all the way down there to him. But Fortson has almost become more dangerous when they've flushed him out of the pocket.
Yeah, you think everything's under control. Your secondary is doing a great job, and then the quarterback decides to run. Kind of shades of Michael Vick with the Falcons, huh? Sylvan back at the goal line. We'll have to punt it back to the Spiders. Lance Lewis is the deep threat on the punt return if they kick it to him.
And threat is the right word.
One of those few gifted athletes who, on any play, bad kick off the side of his foot.
Oh, my goodness.
Takes a Spider opportunistic bounce and will be dead at the 19-yard line of Kannapolis.
That almost looked like it went off his shin, Randy.
That was a net punt of only about 2 yards.
Yeah, he just flat missed it.
Concord, as they did early in the game, now early in the third quarter, in the Kannapolis, in the red zone, down to the 19-yard line. This game is kind of starting off the way it began in the second half, the way it began in the first. That's not really a turnover, but you might as well say it was.
Close enough.
Dry and company to the line. Wow. And unable to get out of the backfield as Justin Miller came in, and that's going to be a sack. Back, a loss, back to the 21.
Justin Miller just blows right up the middle, Randy. They're trying to stop him with two guys. Watch him come right through here and just drag Dry down.
Well, he needed a snap count.
He did. He was back there before you could blink.
Well, you said controlling first down is the key, and Kannapolis won that battle. Cummings in the backfield with Dry on 2nd down and 12 from the 21. Here they come with a blitz. Off the fingertips and incomplete.
Boy, Eddie Sillavong almost came up with his 5th pick of the year.
Almost a completion, almost an interception.
Came with a big blitz right up the middle that time, Randy. I think it was Quantress Grant. It was either he or Griffin who came storming up the middle and got to Dry just as he was letting it go. Watch this.
A game of inches. Look at that.
Forced him, I think, to keep the ball a little bit high. He didn't get to follow through on it like he ordinarily would.
Deep ball still about hauled it in that time, the intended receiver. So it's 3rd and 12. And we've only played about 2 minutes and 14 seconds here in the second half. Trips left this time. The wide receiving core. Dry. Punched out. Now throws it into the corner of the end zone. Jump ball, and this one will be picked off by the Wonders in the end zone. Looked like Cordero Simmons came down with the deflection.
He was back there among them anyway. Let's see if he's the guy who's still hurt in the end zone. He's getting up slowly. Look at this. All kinds of pressure right there. Flushing him out was Brandon Fox. Kind of throws it off his back foot, but man, did he get some zip on it, and it is Simmons who comes up with it. You see right away Malcolm Reed signaling, we've got it.
And that is what touchback out to the 20-yard line. Talk about big dudes. How about 73, Vincent Smith, 6'2", 320, a senior on that Kannapolis offensive line. Where's number 73?
Man, that's a gymnasium. And you see Cordero Simmons there walking slowly, but walking nonetheless. That's good to see. He comes up with the big pick and evens the turnover war.
Single set, we got a slot in motion, and they go with Fowler. No gain. Concorde's got that one diagnosed.
Oh, yep, Klein comes up off the bottom.
They made the adjustment. We haven't said a lot about number 77 tonight.
Oh, they've been double teaming Norman Young, and only a sophomore, Randy, but man, did he come on late in the year for Concord. A freshman last year started down the stretch drive there after they had some problems with the offensive line. Remember, a lot of folks forget Concord started off with a loss last year as well, the first game of the season, and then swept the rest of them.
Here comes on the run. Hello. Nothing there for Fortson as he's met up that time by number 19, C.J. Wise, who's been in on quite a few plays tonight for the Concord Spiders on defense. Yeah, if you're good enough to play for Concord with all that talent they had last year as a freshman, you got to be coming pretty good stock there.
They really needed somebody to shore up their run defense. Pull him off the JV. You can see how big he is. He's 6'3", 295 now. He wasn't much smaller than that last year, and he really helped solidify that run defense there, number 77.
Here comes 3rd down and 6, straight eye this time to the Wonders lineup. Play fake. Fortson with a little time. Now will have to run for his life. He's got the first down in front of him. Will get out of bounds. Out across the 30-yard line. Great decision. You just don't have an answer if you're a defensive unit for that type of runner. That's that intangible.
It's not like he's getting happy feet back there, Randy, and just immediately taking off. Watch, he'll go down and look through his reads as you follow Fowler, and now off goes Fortson, but he goes back, goes through his reads, and then sees the seam and takes it upfield. He doesn't just take off immediately or give up on the play too quickly. That time it results in a first down, and he is piling up some yards on the ground.
Just basically getting what the defense is going to give you, finding the soft spot. And around the left side, Ratliff gets a block on the corner, bangs one guy. Good gracious, that hurt.
That was his own man.
He punted, it didn't matter.
That was Hosack as tight end.
You're talking about a train wreck coming at you. That was it.
Watch him here. Ratliff getting the job done. He's got better speed than people give him credit for, and he shows you some power there as well. Dragging a tackler at the end of that play. That was Curtis Bales.
That's got to hurt when you're beating up on your offensive lineman.
Fortson already has 82 yards on the ground.
On just 8 carries and a touchdown. They're going to say it's close enough to measure for the first down.
And they got to come all the way across the field to do it.
Well, that's part of the contract agreement for television. And it is enough by over the length of the football.
As we mentioned, Randy, Concord will be taking on Piedmont next week. A.L. Brown, meanwhile, we'll check that in just a second. We've got...
Yeah, I think Brown may have an open date next week.
Yeah. We've got Bobby Ratliff with 8 carries for 40 yards, and it sure seems like he's carried it more than that and piled up more yardage than that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I believe Kannapolis may be open next week. There's the play off tackle for about a yard, maybe 2. 7.5 minutes left, third quarter.
I was surprised to see that as you check out Coach Smith giving the defensive signals there, the stat we had at the end of the first half that Concord actually had more time of possession than Kannapolis, because remember they had like a 6.5 minute drive, another drive where they got down around the 45 or 40 of Concord or so that chewed up a lot of clock, and they've been grinding it out on the ground as they have all season long.
On 2nd and 8, here's Fortson with a play fake. Now zips it over the middle to his tight end. A first down to the 43-yard line of Concord. Hosack with the catch, wise on the coverage that time.
Hosack, Randy, that's his 12th catch of the year. He's got 2 touchdowns as well. Came over from private school, a transfer here.
I just got this special love for these tight ends. These guys are just the unsung heroes. They got to be multi-purpose. You've got the big blockers. They got to be out there, and they forget about them. They can be dangerous weapons if they're used as a receiver. Look at Fortson up the middle. And 6.
Oh my goodness, Randy, you want to talk about another gear? Oh man, I think Frank's head exploded over there on the radio side.
Let's check him out. Yeah, now the fade's hadn't popped yet.
Fortson sold that fake very well, and when he shifted, he went into about 8th gear and just outran everybody. And make no mistake, this is not a slow Concord team.
No, they're quick and reactive and contained him well tonight, and then found that cruising gear. That is only his 6th rushing touchdown of the year in Kannapolis with their first lead of the ball game.
Fortson now with 125 yards on the ground on only 9 carries.
He's getting it done, as they say. Larry the Cable got gear done. Alford now to attempt the extra point. That kick is low and it is off to the left. Whoa, look out. How many times have those been deciding factors in the battle for the bell game? 6.5 minutes to go, third quarter. We watch the touchdown again. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. There's the push-up girl. She's just done her, 13 push-ups.
That's the same crew that fires the cannon here.
They're busy. They are busy. The club is growing bigger and bigger and bigger.
7 plays, 80 yards on the drive for A.L. Brown, capped by a 30-plus yard run at the end for Sean Fortson. And he showed you some speed.
There's a blur going up the middle. There's a blur too. Lewis can take it the distance as well. Gets a great block on the corner. And out to the 45-yard line. Wonderful return for Lance Lewis. Malcolm Reed on the coverage.
Take a look here again. He sells the fake really well. He'd already gone into it here. But watch him accelerate right here and run away from defensive backs at the end of this one. I mean, ran right through him and accelerated away from him down the stretch, Randy. I mean, if that had been a horse race, he would have reached the quarter post going away.
That was a 6-speed transmission he had in there. It was
A little shaken up there after that when he got thrown down pretty hard as he got out near the 45, but he's okay. Oh, he's adjusted his helmet there. I see.
I was thinking, I said, oh no, not a lost contact. No, we'll never find it out here.
I don't know how you could.
Concord with great field position to start this drive here with 6:22 to go. Down for the first time in the game. Little swing pass over on the left. Whoa, let's go this way, and the footing breaks down. A loss back to the 38-yard line. Tried to reverse his field, saw about 15. That's Franklin. Saw about 5 green shirts in the area and says, if he could have got a plant, had some room back on the other side.
And Franklin only a sophomore, Randy, and as he becomes a junior and a senior, he'll just learn to take his medicine instead of trying to reverse field and make that one a little bit worse there.
Now that gets Concord in a hole here now, 2nd and 17.
But again, Kannapolis wins first down here on the defensive side of the ball. Remember, when Concord got it down in the red zone earlier, Kannapolis pushed him back there, and it forced Concord into a sure passing situation.
Straight drop, and Dry's going to have to take off. Flags are down. Dry shakes out and gets back to the original line of scrimmage up near the 45-yard line, but we will sort the penalty out.
And let's not forget that Dry is a pretty strong young man for a sophomore, 185 pounds. And again, Randy, another one of those block below the waist deals is going to be a big penalty and push the Spiders even further back.
Frio Webster, our referee, making the call. Easy Smith, much to his chagrin, said, well, he's seen it all. He's seen the downside, the upside, and just those little mistakes.
Wonders, Randy brought the blitz from the right side over there. I wonder if that's where the penalty came from, if they chopped him to try and pick up that blitz.
Well, that's a large real estate there. Back to from the point of foul, Woody. So that's why it hurts so bad. That's 20 yards. Ball should have been at the 45, and with a penalty back to the 25.
Yeah, Concord needs to get to the Kannapolis 45 for a first down.
You don't want to get it all back at one time. Just chip away here. Low snap, Dry, under pressure, and cannot get away. Sacked by Brandon Fox all the way back to the 13-yard line.
Fox has been close a couple of times tonight, Randy. That time, Jimmy Dry couldn't escape him.
Man, there was no doubt about it. Look how strong he is. Able to hold on and said, come here.
6 foot, 210-pound senior wrestles him down at the end there.
The Wonders have really, I guess you would say, increased their blitzing, especially at the ends here in the last couple of series, and it is starting to pay some dividends. Dry, a dangerous runner when he gets outside the flanks. That's Fox's. Now he has 2.5 sacks on the year. Under pressure, and here's another sack. Way back at the 3-yard line. This time, it belongs to Kevin Kano of the Wonders.
Well, the Wonders have been getting some pretty good penetration all night long, and Dry has been escaping. Now he is not, and the Wonder defense is making him pay.
They have made the adjustment well.
Look, this was the original line of scrimmage here, and that's where they had to get for the first down. And they are pushed back inside the 5 now.
And now your punter is about 8 yards deep in the end zone. There you see the back line. Now he steps out. It's a safety.
Snap is critical here.
Kannapolis they do get off a great kick. Alex Edwards has to call for a fair catch and will make it at the Spider 39-yard line. Wonders will have great field position, so the defense with a couple of sacks reestablishes field position.
Yeah, huge plays by the Kannapolis defensive front there, and that was Kano's 3rd sack on the season.
And we still have 3:33 left in this 3rd quarter.
It was important for Concord there to try and generate a response because Kannapolis had missed the extra point, could have made him pay for it down on the other end, but now the Wonders have excellent field position as we get down toward the end of the 3rd quarter here.
Single set with a slot, a little dump pass. Hozak tipped off of his hands, intercepted by the Spiders. DeBoss has some room. Flags are down. This is pretty to watch. Boss with a nifty move to the outside and cuts back to the inside. Unfortunately, it's probably going to come back, but what a great return by DeBoss on the interception. Jay Hosack finally made the tackle. Now, it is a game of inches, Woody.
My goodness, a tip ball there. Keeps it in the air, and DeBoss returns it some 60 yards or more, but there's a penalty right here just across midfield, and Quantrez Grant is back there trying to find out what the deal is, and it's against Concord.
Yeah, Quantrez he's just stood there with the flags. I said, well, we now know it's coming back. He's the senior. He's seen this happen before.
The captains always know, don't they?
Yeah. He says, I'm going to stand right here and make the call.
But watch this. Short drop, tipped a little bit high for Hosack, and DeBoss doesn't miss this opportunity, coming back the other way with it.
1, 2. How many guys missed it? 3.
And there were some big blocks as well. Look at that. Lance Lewis throwing a nice block there. And finally, Hosack, who originally tipped the ball, comes back to make the tackle.
It took 6 guys. Half the team had a shot at him. Well, with the turnover, second of the night for the Wanderers. Concord has it back at the 36-yard line. Cummings running hard up the middle, punished at the 41-yard line. Rico Norris over there to make the hit. Rico, a 5'10", 240-pound junior. These guys that are small on this Wonder line, 240, you're a little bitty.
Well, they're running some fresh bodies in there right now, but one way to stop that fierce pass rush is a quick hitter running the ball and run right by him.
Game of adjustments. Concord trying to make those adjustments here in this series and movement. Well, you see where the guards were going to pull. Clint Scarborough, one of the offensive linemen, moved just a hair too soon.
Yeah, number 64 flinched just before the snap came, and that'll back him up. Concord had won the battle on first down there, had it to 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, and now they're going to give it right back.
Anybody's game here with 2:36 left, third quarter.
Remember, this is when things started to come apart on the previous possession for the Spiders. They had the big penalty for the block below the waist, and then 2 straight sacks push them inside the 5.
Talk about that series. Then they get down, have it intercepted in the end zone by Kannapolis. Then at the end of the first half, they come up a couple of yards short of the field goal. So right now, nowhere to go. Oh man, he just grabbed him in a bear hug. Kevin Kano got dry and would not let go.
Now that was not even a 3-step drop, Randy, trying to come out here quickly to his right side, but the Wonders had it covered up pretty well, forced him to hold the ball, and that gave Kano all the time he needed to get there.
Jimmy kind of pumped once,
and that was all the time he had.
He got 1 heartbeat, didn't he?
Yep. But Concord has the quick strike capability, and they can take it the distance at any time. There's still a lot of football to be played here.
Oh, yeah. 3rd and 11 out of the gun. Whistles, and there's a late flag.
Yeah, still 2 seconds on the play clock. Could be a legal procedure, I think, against the Spiders.
Concord shooting themselves in the foot right now. And you know, that pass rush by Kannapolis, being able to get to dry the quarterback, it's got to have an effect. Maybe it's just now showing up with these linemen for Concord, maybe jumping the gun just a little bit, flinching, trying to anticipate Kannapolis, knowing that they're blitzing a lot more.
Well, and don't forget that both these teams have a lot of younger players. Last year, Concord, a senior-dominated team. This year, they start a slew of sophomores. 8 penalties, 83 yards, and look at Quantrez Grant.
That'll be incomplete, but Dry is going to field that one tomorrow. Grant finally got to his opposing number 7 on the other side. Man.
And Jimmy Dry, being the left-hand quarterback, didn't see him.
He just comes right up the gut.
Man.
That'll force a punt. Look at the mud, man. They're starting to get some mud on these unis, and that's what football's about.
Well, just yesterday, we finally got a break from all the rain we've been having, so I'm sure the field is probably still a little bit damp. I know it drains well, but we had so much rain.
Beautiful day today. A little breeze and some sunshine. Quick kick. Line drive can be returned. Edwards picks it up. Comes out. 40, 45, midfield. 39-yard line of Concord. Those line drivers are always dangerous. You don't give your coverage time to get downfield. Streeter finally made the tackle, but Kannapolis is back in business on the Concord side of the 50 now at the 39.
Half, Randy, slowly but surely, Kannapolis is starting to repeatedly have the advantage of field position. And Concord got the interception last time to stop him, but you can only ask your defense to come up big so many times when you give the other team field position.
First down and 10. They line it down from the eye, and there's the option. Ball's loose. How did it bounce back? Ratliff got to be the luckiest man in the house tonight.
Right, because he was already on the ground. Had it bounced away from him, he wouldn't have had time to get up and get after it before one of the Spiders got there. The pitch behind him, good job by Norman Young there to get a hand, or two hands actually, around Forts and force him to pitch it, and he pitched it behind Ratliff. So two miscues down here on the Concord side of the field by the Wonder offense have backed them up now, and teams starting to pile up some mistakes now, both ways.
Exactly. Final 30 seconds here of the third quarter. Ratliff looks right, now goes right up the gut and gets back near the 40-yard line. The Eagles tackle. Norman Young starting to show his presence. We saw it on that option play that ran aground for Kannapolis. And now he's made that tackle, so the cream always rises, doesn't it, William?
Sooner or later.
3 are in the books here in the 75th edition, 2005 Battle of the Bell. Concord and Kannapolis. Right now, the Wonders with a 6-point lead. I thought that was funny. I saw the exclamation point guy before the game, and I said, well, you can't get out of place.
Was he excited?
Yeah, he was.
If you're an exclamation point, you got to be upbeat.
He was proud, but I said, there's no way you could get out of place.
We were at some place, and Steve Gann, our stat man, was telling me he saw some of those guys painted up like that in the bathroom somewhere, and one of them was going, I don't want to be the M, wherever we were.
Third down, they go with the draw. Ratcliffe is loose. All is loose, and Concord may have got possession before it went out of bounds, and they did, signaling the arm pointed the other way, and Concord comes up with the third turnover of the night for the Wonders.
Yeah, nice run by Ratliff. Unfortunately, the ball gets taken from him there. D-Boss pulls it loose at the end, and looks like coming up with it was Streeter.
Yeah, I believe Streeter over there sliding in, trying to get control before he gets to the sidelines.
So Kannapolis gets the interception in the end zone and then gives it to Concord 2 more times coming the other way.
So the Spiders will start now with 11:52 to go in the game at their own 29-yard line. Down by a touch. Well, nowhere to go there. Dancing around is D-Boss.
He almost knocked Coach Smith over there.
I think Coach was down on that tackle stance. He was getting ready.
He's used to the tackle stance now. He's been there a couple times. Trying to get D-Boss loose out there and just let him try and beat people with his individual skills, but too many green jerseys out there that time. Boss did a great job just to get something positive out of it, because on the lateral he was well behind the line of scrimmage.
I wonder if Z's got those same coaching short sleeve breeches on that he's had in that state championship run last year.
He's probably got 20 or 30 pair.
Think so?
Yeah. Every good coach has a backup.
Try going deep. Picked. No. Alex Edwards thought he had it. Should have had it.
Back there playing center field, read the ball, came in and knocked it away just in time, but he wanted the pick to take it the other way. Just couldn't quite come up with it. Watch him here. He'll flash into your picture right at the end, right there.
Try had to let that one go. Maybe a tick too soon, because Brandon Fox was rumbling in, number 95.
And Fox has been close all night.
That's been, I guess, the key to the Wonder success on defense. They're getting some pressure on drive, making him throw it just a tick too soon. Sometimes that's all you have to accomplish. Here's another pass over the middle, tipped, and this one will be intercepted. Yes, Sullivan, his 5th of the year. Almost had a couple earlier. Tim Streeter was the intended receiver. It bounced off of his hands, and Sullivan coming up with it.
Watch Malcolm Reed get a hand on it and keep it in the air there. Actually, it was Lance Lewis, Randy. Sorry I led you astray there, but Malcolm Reed tips it into the air, and it's turnover, 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 turnover here now.
And they're all right in the middle of between the 35s, it seems like. This time,
oh my gosh, look, coming on here at the end of the play is going to be big old Vincent Smith, 320 pounds.
let's talk about Vincent while you see.
He's the gymnasium. And they ran right behind him.
Fortson is loose down the sidelines, almost got to that infinite gear, but brought down from behind at the 20-yard line by C.J. Wise.
Oh, they line up like big old Vincent Smith there at the right guard and ran in the hole that he created. Look at him. He just cleaned people out of there, man. He just leans one way and bodies start flying.
I mean, even Doug Holmes could run through a hole like that.
And he's lost a step or 12.
Go behind your power.
My goodness. Well, right beside him is no small kid either. Trumaine Watson right beside him is 290 pounds, and he looks lost.
Here's Rattler spinning out of tackles and goes to the 13-yard line. C.J. Wise again on the tackle for Concord first. Yeah, well, you're 300 pounds and you look little.
Look at that spin move by Ratliff there.
You think Coach Massey's called in the heavy troops for this series?
Well, if he's got any bigger than that, I don't want to see him, because that might be illegal if you got anybody bigger than that.
Let's go down the roster here. And I think Vincent's the top man.
I mean, that's right there, 70 and 73.
And
that's 610 pounds of linemen right there.
74, the center's 255. Fowler hit and stopped for little gain. Calvin Hilly, who's played a little football in his career, coming up making the stop. Concord fighting for their life right now. The ball at the 11-yard line. 10 minutes to go in the contest. They're down by 6. You can't really give up. If they can get out of this with just maybe a field goal, they just got to feel fortunate. But it's a 9-point game, then you're still going to need 2 scores.
Exactly. Vincent Smith comes out, Rico Norris in to replace him for the Wonders.
Gray and Gillen are the wides to the left. They'll keep it on the ground. They just want to move the chains. It was 3rd and short.
I don't know how far he got. He may not have gotten there. Let's see where they spot it. That's a little jaw in there.
That's helmet-to-helmet contact there. Fowler. Yeah, it looked like he and Mark Newton. I always thought, why do football players want to get in fights anyway? You got padding, you got helmets, you got face guards.
The emotions just take over sometimes, and now the official's going to go over and tell them, hey, let's don't have any extracurricular stuff here.
Newton's only a sophomore, so this is new to him.
DeBost asking for some noise there up at the top of your picture. He's not in his home stadium, but he does have a few thousand fans here to help him.
He's got more fans on the visitor side than some of the high schools would love to have that many people who come to support their Concord Spiders. Jam-packed house here at Memorial Stadium. Timeout on the field. 8:51 remaining in regulation. They've decided to go for it. Needless to say, the fans who have been on their feet will continue there. 4th down and short. Smith, 73, checks back in on the offensive line. Would you think?
They're going to run right. I mean,
it's a power.
And a tight end on that side.
And Grant's in there in the backfield to block and push. Number 7. And they got 3. They have the first down.
I mean, you had Hosack in there, 42. He's the small one at 210 pounds. You add him in, and you've got 820 pounds on that side.
It looked like Quantrez was kind of piloting that ship.
Yeah.
It was adrift. They get the first down. It'll be 1st and goal at the Concord 9-yard line. This could make it tough on Concord if Kannapolis can push it in here. They fake it to Fowler. Fortson trying to cut up, and Concord is waiting defensively. They were there that time. Looked like Klein and company leading the way.
And did a great job of reading at that time to not let Fowler get away. They have faked it many times, and Fowler has kept it more often than not, so they were reading him instead of Fowler that time.
Plus, your secondary can cheat a little bit. You don't have as much room to cover.
And listen to the crowd, Randy, roar every time big old Vincent Smith comes in. I'm telling you, they're cheering for him. Now, they move him on to the other side this time. He's on the left side.
Let's see if they go that way.
Yep.
It'll be Ratliff following the blocking down to about the 4. I mean, this is just smash mouth football right now. And so line up, we're going to come at you. Stop us if you can. And if you're the team that's running it, you like it because you're ahead and the clock running.
Exactly.
And you're moving down the field.
The ball and the lead is what most coaches want.
3rd and goal just inside the 5-yard line. Fowler, you got Grant and a slot, and then Ratliff the tailback, but it'll be Fortson looking. Now he's going to run it to the corner. Touchdown, Kannapolis. His 3rd touchdown of the night in the rushing department, giving him 7 on the year. No defense for that.
Right, and that's going to put him over 130 yards on the ground tonight. And almost a carbon copy of the play he scored on in the first half. They didn't have the full house backfield that time.
Well, those 2 previous big, hefty running plays kind of set up the quarterback role. Kannapolis up by now, 12 points. Says, well, we don't have anything to lose. Let's go for 2. Coach Massey has made the decision.
Right, because the 1-point extra point here still means Concord could beat you with 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points.
Little was the wide receiver, and now Kannapolis is calling a timeout. And they want to make sure here on this 2-point conversion with 7:26 remaining in the 4th period. The Wonder lead now at 12. Well, the cheerleaders obviously happy. They've just seen their team go 46 yards in 8 plays and took
Plus, they don't have to do push-ups for the points.
That's right. Took a little over 4:08 to go. Well, they got her out here. She's just got to wait because we're not sure of the final total.
Now, there was a penalty flag that came down right at the end of that, and Coach Massey was upset. They evidently didn't have the right alignment or the right personnel. I think they've got it squared away now. There was a penalty marker down, so let's see what they're going to mark off here.
Yeah, knocked them 5 yards back, so it didn't change. They're still going to go for 2. It's just, actually, it may be an advantage here.
Yeah, the one is pretty much insignificant.
You got 8 yards to work with versus 3, but still. Gives your receivers a little more room, and that's where it's going. To the air, tipped up and incomplete. Batted down in the end zone by the Concord defenders. We watch it again. Let's see the coverage here.
Is it Wise? Now, this is the touchdown again here, Randy.
Oh, okay.
He's looking to pass, sees some room, and sprints for the sticks there at the corner. I think it was C.J. Wise who knocked the ball down in the end zone there.
So the extra point attempt fails. It didn't take long to do those 19. There's the perch. Now it is fully inhabited tonight.
A fully stocked perch over there, yeah.
They've got a little sign over to the right that says, "Welcome to Wonderland."
Wonder if Alice is over there anywhere.
I don't know an Alice. It has grown throughout the years. That's a legend becoming a part of it. A legend. 19 unanswered points by the Wonders.
Right, remember Concord scored after they were stopped on their opening drive, punted, Kannapolis fumbled it, Concord punches it in to go up 7-0.
Now offered to kick it away. Does he kick it deep? Start the game, he kicked it 5 yards in the end zone. This will be a little intermediate. Taken, and then lateral. And that one's going nowhere for Lewis.
Boy, a little bit of a dangerous lateral there. I know you want to get the ball in the hands of Lewis, but the Wonders awfully close when all that was going on.
Well, Concord has got to get something going here. They're down by 12. They're they're going to need two types of scorers regardless. And actually, you're going to have 2 touchdowns. But you got to get something going now because time is starting to be an ally here. Boys in the green and white, 7:18 left, Woody.
Yeah, and they have primarily gone through the air to D. Boss. Lance Lewis has not been much of a factor. He scored the initial touchdown, but they haven't thrown to him very much. He's only got 2 catches for 17 yards. Concord's leading receiver coming in had almost, over 650 yards in catches, and the Spiders now have to take a timeout.
A big timeout. Not sure if they wanted to take that one or not, but were forced to. Indecision on offense. Next week, we'll continue to see these Concord Spiders as they fight for not only the regular season championship of the SPC, but a playoff seeding and the future state playoffs as they'll be at home to take on the always tough Panthers from Piedmont High School down in Union County.
And how about the way the SPC is shaping up now? Anson County coming into this week undefeated. Concord undefeated in conference play coming in. Porter Ridge, a brand new school, is struggling. Parkwood pretty good. Concord beat them last week. Piedmont pretty good as well. Tough conference.
Yeah, Sun Valley only had 1 loss, and that 1 loss was a come-from-behind win.
Well, Coach Smith had some comments earlier where he said, I think you can probably win this conference with 1 loss. I don't think you can with 2. And I think he's probably right.
So it's up for grabs, as is the ball right now. Off the arm of Jimmy Clyde. It's intercepted. The Kannapolis secondary stepping up here in the 4th quarter. Justin Cunningham with another pick. They read it perfectly, and they know something. These secondary guys.
Well, he just didn't get enough air under this ball. The receiver had gotten by him. See that? The receiver's not even in the picture.
Intended for Streeter that time. And now Kannapolis can just run this clock out, perhaps. That's what Coach Massey wants to happen. 7:13 remaining. They work from a straight eye this time. And they'll give it to Fowler, the fullback, and he'll have 4 tough ones up the gut. Curtis Klein, outstanding defensive lineman, making the hit.
Unofficially, we've got 3 turnovers for each team, but it seems like about 20, doesn't it?
Well, they've got 3 interceptions, we know, against Concord. And in this game, all the turnovers, well, a lot of them.
There was a fumble by Ratliff.
Yeah, have come back and points have been put on the board. Fowler will have the first down. Kannapolis content to keep it between the tackles. Curtis Bales there defensively for the Spiders.
And Fowler a little slow to get up. Little ginger on that leg.
He's upset he didn't take it all the way. That was a pretty good hole opening up.
But right now, they'd like nothing better than to just go 3 yards in a cloud of dust and grind up some clock. And now the officials taking a timeout.
Yeah, that's their time.
I think they're going to make Fowler come out of the game the way they're acting.
Now, they're concerned about the young man's health, and that's true. You don't want to end a career. Looks like Matthew,
number 33 will come in to replace him. He wanted to stay in, but the official said, no, you gotta go and take a play or 2 off here.
Ratliff again hits the middle.
And let's see what the spot will be.
Going to be close. I think he's just shy of the first down. Had to get just inside the 24. And from our angle, it looks like he's just a hair short. 5.5 minutes to go. The clock running. 4th down. They won't even measure. Well, Concord has got to have a stop here.
Well, and Kannapolis in no hurry right now. They just want to keep this clock ticking away.
Don't think they're going to take a delayed game. They're that close to getting the first down. And you set it down so you can just about ice this game, Woody.
Right, but they may just let it run down here and call a timeout right before they do with 1 tick left on the play clock.
Good clock management here by the Wonders. And we will step away as well. 5:06 to go in the game. conversion coming up as we return to Memorial Stadium. 4th and less than a yard. Wonders can about wrap it up if they can get it in. And I don't know. Depending on, I just don't think he got it.
It was Fowler who came back in after tweaking the ankle there, and let's see where they spot it.
Depending on the spot, and I just...
They moved it back there. I don't think he got it. You're right, Randy.
They're going to bring the chains in, and if not, Concord will have it. They still have 2 timeouts and have a chance.
But they need 2 touchdowns, and they've got just over 5 to go.
They're not even good.
Yeah. The official says my timeout, so they're going to bring the chains out and make sure.
You don't.
The coaches can request that too.
Good officiating crew tonight in this Bell game. Got to be an honor to be able to work a game like this. Not only players. Hey, we don't talk about the men in stripes. They work hard too.
Yeah, he was almost a yard short.
So Concord will take over on downs at their own 20. We'll call it just short of the 25-yard line. Down by 12. We got 5:02 to go. After what we saw last year with Concord in the playoffs, especially the semifinals and the 3rd round, well, they were down 21 points with 5 minutes to go and still won the ball game.
But Jimmy Dry is going to have to do it through the air here. He's got 2 timeouts, 5 minutes to go. They will be able to run some, but not much. He's 13 out of 24 right now, Randy.
Looking, going deep over the middle, and it's going to be caught. How about that? To the Kannapolis 39-yard line. Tim Streeter finally hooks up with Jimmy Dry. And that is Streeter's, 8th catch on the year.
Watch him here, and he throws this into a lot of coverage. Look at all the green jerseys there. I don't know how that ball found a way through.
They had four hats against 2 down there, and they still complete it. That'll move the clock, and that only took about 10 seconds off the clock.
And the officials have stopped play here now. One of the Wonders injured there. It's Justin Cunningham who got the interception a while ago.
And they're going to get him off the field.
And boy, what an improvement we've seen in Jimmy Dry over just a few weeks it's been since the Robinson game. Looks much more poised, much more comfortable back there. His passes are on target.
14 of 25, 156 yards on the night for Dry right now. Gonna have to put it up again. Looking for Lewis. He's got it between 2 defenders and shakes out at 1 tackle, and it takes 4 guys to bring him down.
Well, he still got away.
Well, they did whistle it finally.
Hey, he never went down. He just got away.
Talk about, what is it, Sam Mills with the Panthers saying keep pounding? Well, he's keep pounding. He wasn't going to give up.
They kept pounding him, but he wasn't going down. Watch this strike now. There's some traffic here as well that Jimmy Dry feeds it through.
There's 2.
3,
1 guy
4,
hanging on.
5, 6.
And 1 guy still hanging on.
I can't believe Lance Lewis got away.
Malcolm Reed had a hold of his ankle for the longest time at the 12-yard line. 1st down and 10. Going to the end zone. Jump ball overthrown. Intended receiver that time was Dustin Burris. That'll stop the clock with 4:16. Well, I said it can happen quickly, especially in the Bell game, and they moved it, 65 yards now. Well, pretty much the length of the field in less than a minute, Woody.
Sure have, but boy, some of the players on both sides really starting to grasp their pants and gasp for some air here.
You think the adrenaline's long since gone, huh?
Yeah, they have given it their all, as they always do in this one, especially in this game, the Bell game, the most meaningful of the year for both these schools.
2nd down. Kannapolis coming with a blitz. Grants is there, but the pass is caught over the middle on the slant, and it will be short of the 1st down, but they do get it down near the 7-yard line.
And that's an advantage. Kannapolis, they are debossed with the catch, but they just want the clock to keep moving right now. They don't have any more timeouts. Concord still has 2, and Coach Smith, I think, would like to save him if he can get the ball back one more time.
Trips to the right. Boy, is Jimmy Dry getting the test under fire right now. Looking end zone, a little crossing pattern complete, and it will be a first down inside near the 1 yard line, actually.
But Alex Edwards bumps him down, still in the field of play, and the clock keeps ticking. They'll move it for the first down, but he keeps him out of the end zone and forces Concord to have to run another play.
And as you know, you've got one more play, more time runs off the clock, and anything can happen. Cummings is your tailback, but it'll be Dry calling his own number, and he's in. Concord Slider touchdown. They haven't scored since, their first drive of the game. Had been denied several times, and Dry now with 4 rushing touchdowns on the year. And Concord has drawn to within 6. They're going to bring out the kicker because 2 not really going to help them. It'll still be a 4-point.
Right, what they can't afford here is the 0.
Burris to hold. Fraser Culbert, senior kicker, boots it up. And it's perfect. 3:31 remaining. In regulation, we've got a game. It's 19-14 Kannapolis. 76 yards. It took them only 6 plays, Woody, and a little over a minute and a half to negotiate the territory.
Yeah, the big strike to Streeter on the opening play of that drive. The crucial one now. Concord still has 2 timeouts, 3.5 minutes here. Kannapolis is thinking a couple of first downs and they can salt this one away. And they are going for the onside kick.
Here it comes. It's got to go 10, and the good hands people do recover at the 47-yard line. Kannapolis had everybody who had ever touched a football in his life within 10 yards of that one. You had guys that probably were cold off the bench said, well, you're a receiver, you get out there.
Take a look at it again. Has to go 10 yards, it does.
And it didn't ever hit the ground. Now, had it hit the ground, then basically all heck breaks loose.
That's exactly what you wanted to do. You wanted to kick high in the air right at the end so everybody can get into a batted around situation, which is usually good for the kicking team.
Single set, Kannapolis with a 5-point lead. Nowhere to run that time. It's Bobby Ratliff.
And great job out there for one of the Spiders. I'm trying to read his number, but his uniform is so messed up. It's 52. Mike Moore made the stop that time. The front of his jersey was so muddy you couldn't hardly read his number.
Yeah, you wear those white jerseys, you can definitely tell who's been in the game and who has not.
All right, but we want to give him credit for the tackle for loss that time.
Lost a yard officially. Inside 3 minutes to go. Concord still with 2 timeouts. Out of the gun. Fortson looks up the middle. Oh, what a move. That was almost illegal. They're going to get him for unsafe movement out there. He got about 7 yards on the play.
Mike Moore with the stop again, but that spin move just made a couple of guys fall down, it looked like.
It's a 360 in progress there. Got him about 3 more.
Yeah, they had him bottled up close to the line of scrimmage here, Randy, but watch this move. Shoot.
They can't catch me. They can't tackle me if they can't catch me.
Big play here. If they get it, Concord's going to have to burn a timeout.
Fans on their feet on both sides. High snap. Fortson brings it down, dives into the line, and will be short. It'll be 4th down and about a yard coming up.
And
Concord does burn a timeout, looks like.
Yep.
They've got 1 left. And with 2:07 remaining in the ball game, we'll step away. Do not adjust your eyes. Wow, there we go.
All right. I was starting to think it was me there. I was taking off my glasses and checking them out for a minute.
You didn't hear any eerie music, so you're not in the twilight zone. However, Kannapolis is not going to give Concord field position. They're going to punt it.
Remember, Sillavong had a short punt last attempt.
Do they punt it to Lewis? I doubt it. Concord peels for the return. This one pretty much straight up. Hits, and it will be fielded at a return. I tell you what, Lewis he's everywhere.
A daredevil.
And Concord will have a shot. This is kind of similar to, was it 1990?
Yeah.
When the roles were reversed.
Kind of reminds me of some of Concord's playoff games last year.
Not too many people have left the stadium.
Well, 156 and one timeout for Concord, and they need what, 67 yards?
Yep, ball at their 33. And this guy can get her done, as they say. Jimmy Dry. Got to be looking to Lewis this time. Flushed out under heavy pressure, throws upfield, complete. A 12-yard pickup to number 3, D. Boss, who's been Mr. Money right now in this game. Marqualo Williams on the tackle, 12-yard reception.
All his receivers are down here to the bottom to his left, but he comes back right to find D. Boss, and Williams stops him, but not before he picks up the first down, and that briefly stops the clock, which helps Concord.
And a tough pass to throw if you draw across your body. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up momentarily, forced out upfield and intercepted. The guy who went out with an injury a few minutes ago comes in, Justin Cunningham, and that is his second pick of the night.
How about that, Randy? Just broke on the ball, cut in front of the receiver. Heavy pressure here on Jimmy Dry. Watch him have to back out, throws it off his back foot, and he just flat takes it away from Tim Streeter. Does Justin Cunningham, second pick of the night.
That was just pure athletic play right there.
And between the two teams, that is at least 7 turnovers on the night.
So what may have saved the game? Cunningham with a big pick. Now Kannapolis 93 seconds away from reclaiming the victory bell. And there's the first knee by Sean Fortson. Concord gave him a finish.
Sure did, but again, Kannapolis has been bringing pressure all night. They bring some heavy pressure there, force Jimmy Dry to throw it off his back foot under duress, and it disrupts things just enough for Cunningham to get in the way and pick it off again.
And the Spiders, obviously dejected on the other side, had their chances. Remember in the first half had one, or early in the second half had one picked off in the end zone. Had another long play called back that was complete down to the 5. So you have the opportunities, 5, 6 key plays in a game, and it comes down to who executes the best in a well-played game.
Well, that's exactly what Jeremy Ryan told us in the pregame. Most games come down to 4 or 5 key plays, and it sure has tonight.
And we just witnessed Cunningham's interception as time running off the clock. Concord has one timeout, I think, and do they elect to call it? It's third down coming up. Clock running with 20, 19, 18. Play clock about 3 seconds, 2, 1. They're going to let it go out. They're not worried about the 5-yard penalty. They get hit with delay of game. And now with 13 seconds to go, you don't want to run the play. And then Concord with the one timeout left. So Concord has a mathematical chance of getting the football back here. It'll be 3rd and 19 with 13 seconds to go. Obviously, Fortson will just take a knee, and then Concord can call the timeout. That would set up 4th down. And then on the punt, the clock would stop on the exchange. However, I believe Fortson flags are down. He's just going to try to run around the corner, and now he takes the slide at midfield. The clock shows 6 seconds to go, but we'll sort the flag out. Concord obviously wants, I think that was the key. Run enough time off the clock with your quarterback. Not to give Concord any time at all. So illegal procedure against the Wonders. That penalty is declined. And Concord. And Z's urging his players, come on, let's get it together here. He's want them all together. He's getting the right personnel onto the field. Meanwhile, Woody is making his way down. It might take him a while. And the victory obviously at stake. Haven't heard it ring much tonight, but they will have the customary exchange from one school to the other, as it will come over to the winning side, and in 6 more seconds that side looks like Kannapolis has a chance to regain it. Right now, you want just to get, if you're Coach Massey, you want to execute and just get the time off the clock. Concord, well played game tonight. A lot of interceptions. The secondary of Kannapolis coming up big in crucial situations. Here's Fortson on the roll. He's going to try to run the clock out, and he will succeed. The 2005 edition of the Battle of the Bell. Concord Kannapolis blows. He goes to the Concord, or Kannapolis side, I should say. Kannapolis a winner tonight, 19-14, and it didn't take the Wonders long. They were in a sprint over there to get the bell back, and it will come. They won't drag it back across the field. It's a little muddy. That thing might get mired up with all those guys riding it, so they're going to take the victory lap. This would not be the Polish victory lap like in NASCAR. They're going in the right direction here, it looks like. Coming out into turn number 3, and it will take them a while, but boy, what an ovation they will get when it reaches in front of the main grandstands over here on the home side. As the Perch, believe it or not, they still got plenty of fireworks left over there. Kannapolis says, well, we've got it back from the Spiders, and the series now goes 37 wins for Concord, 34 for Kannapolis, and 4 ties in 75 years. And they are going to bring the bell onto the field. Okay. A huge ovation, but the thing you like in this series, obviously fiercely competitive between the two football teams, but for one time a year you get Cabarrus County and the two closely knit cities together, and boy, sides divide, families divide, everybody takes a side, and the sportsmanship displayed by both these teams, outstanding, especially in the post game. Kannapolis brings the bell back home for 2005. Back with some more comments in just a minute.
Backfield side with winning coach Ron Massey. Coach, you've been talking about getting off to a good start, but this time you come down and you fumble the punt, they score on you, but then your team responds with 19 unanswered points and your defense steps up.
Yeah, defense, did a tremendous job in the second half. They're a good football team. They're young, and they're going to be real good in the future. But tonight, I thought our seniors played real well for us, and I thought that was the difference. They made some plays when we had to have them.
A couple of individual performances that stood out. Cunningham had 2 picks, and Fortson with 3 touchdowns. Boy, Fortson was really all over the yard tonight running the ball.
Yeah, well, he was, and we knew we had to come in and run some option at them because they're a very good defensive team as far as reading, and what we like to do out of the eye is, their defense is designed to stop that. So, we wanted to try to do a little bit of that tonight, and our coaching staff did a great job of preparing our kids this short week and everything to do what we wanted to do this week.
Coach, the numbers may not show it, but we really felt like your defensive line was able to get good pressure all night too.
I think that was a big key. We were able to do it with 3-man in the blitz by a linebacker and our 4-man rush, and like I said, our defense deserves a lot of credit for this victory tonight. I thought second half they did a tremendous job.
And of course, the 19-14 victory is critical conference-wise as well.
Well, it's big in the conference. It keeps us, in a hunt for the conference championship. And if we'd have lost our second one tonight, it'd been tough.
Okay, Coach. Congratulations. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, Randy. Let's go back up to you.
Okay, thanks, Woody, and let's take a look at some final numbers here for you as far as the stats are concerned. There you see yards rushing, Concord 17. Can you believe that? Kannapolis obviously 261. But at the tail of the tape, it's exactly the opposite. passing yards for Concord and passing yards for Kannapolis. And meanwhile, things kind of shake out on the total yards. But the turnovers obviously key, as the interceptions for Kannapolis in the second half especially turned away Concord. Time of possession pretty equal. Penalties obviously hurt Concord, 8 for 83. Let's take a look at the second half. This is the Kannapolis touchdown. And here is Sean Fortson going in, as of course the halftime score was 7-7. Here's the quarterback sneak by Dry. And now this pretty much icing the game as Cunningham comes up and makes a key interception, takes it away from Streeter, and basically Kannapolis took a couple of these, and the bell goes back to the Kannapolis side for 2005, especially here in Wonderland. We've certainly enjoyed our visit. Kannapolis will go now to 3-1 in the SBC. Concord's record 2-1. Kannapolis overall 8-1, and the Spiders record 5-3. Both teams chasing Anson County. For Woody Kane, Steve Gann, and the entire Time Warner Cable Sports Production crew, Randy Whitley saying thanks for being with us. The 75th anniversary of the Battle of the Bell. Kannapolis comes out on top this year.